Hey everybody, welcome back to another video of your drawing lessons, your remote drawing lessons. Last week we worked on our eye. We took a look at the eye, drew that out, talked about the different parts of the eye, what those things are. We're gonna move down the face. Our next job is going to be working on building a nose. I'm going to sort of go about it the same way, just give you a quick demo here. The Google Classroom will have not only obviously this video, but some other links, some step-by-step papers, things like that that might help you out. But like I said, this is basically just going to be a demo. You can follow this just hopefully like you did the last one. So working on a nose, I sometimes find the nose is one of the toughest parts, at least it is for me. A few different ways to start it, but generally I start with almost a U or a V shape. Something like that. The nice thing is, human faces are not symmetrical, they're the same on both sides. So if things get to be a little bit off, don't worry about it. So this is going to be actually the middle bottom part of the nose called the septum. On each side, I'm going to add a little hook, which is going to be your nostril. Try to get them even, but again, if it's not perfect, you're gonna be okay. Now, the nostril or inside the nose, I guess where you'd, stick your finger if you were picking your nose, that's always going to be real dark, and sometimes it helps me to sort of make that dark right away. It helps me to sort of see what we're doing here. We've practiced value, the change in light to dark, and we've practiced it with pencil, so it's gonna be the same sort of thing, but you can see we go from a dark at the top and have it get lighter as it goes down a little bit. On the outside of each nostril, you're going to have a little line that forms what's called the wing. This is the outside of your nose. Now, like everything else on, sort of us, we're all shaped different. So, depending on who it is that you're drawing a picture of, nose might be a little bit different. These are also going to be very dark, heavy lines. I'm a little bit off on that side, but I think we'll be okay. The rest of the nose is actually a tremendous amount of shading. What we're going to do is have to make it look like there's lots of different planes. So here we have the septum, the nostrils, the wings, sort of the bridge of the nose is up here. These little circles are here, or these little lines here are there for a reason, because they're going to be a guide as far as where to shade. So we start with our shading. We have our really dark part of the nostril, but one little shade lighter is going to be where we start shading around the nostril, a little nasal wing there. We're going to leave this little shape a little bit lighter. That is the part of your nose that sort of flares out. Start doing that for both sides. Keep shading. Now, this is sometimes called the apex or the ball of the nose. It's sort of the part that's going to stick out the most. It's going to have a lot of light hitting it. And so as we come to the center of this little oval, just like we practice with our shading, our pencil techniques, we're gonna have it get a little bit lighter as it comes to that, like I said, the apex or the point, the tip of the nose there. And again, so much of this is using that art element of value, a change from light to dark. Other than some of the first lines that we drew, a lot of the nose is just shading, which is why sometimes it can be a little bit tricky. All right, as we come up and we find the dorsum or the bridge of the nose, again, this very middle of this is going to be the brightest spot. That's where most of the light is going to hit. And so it'll be a little bit darker on these sides, get lighter as it goes up to the middle. On the outside where we have the edge of the nostril, we'll start to add a little bit of shading outside of there. And let me tell you, this is not the first nose I've drawn this morning. I had to wake up and, yeah, sort of knock some of the rust off, and I had to draw a bunch, for me at least, to sort of get started. So, yeah, like I said, I didn't roll out of bed and just draw this. It took some practice, so if yours doesn't come out just the way you want it that first time, don't worry about it. I'll sort of show you the sheet I've been working on and all my practice ones. Like everything else, like in class, guys, you know all I ask is just give it a try. We learn so much from maybe the mistakes we make, so yeah. Like Edison said after he failed so many times making the light bulb, I didn't fail, I found 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb. All right. When we have something like that, we have basically the nose, but sort of right under the nose is completely left empty. So we're gonna fix that a little bit. This is, sometimes people call it a Cupid's bow. It's that little part right under the septum, right above the lip. And then the shading on that sort of depends where the light is coming from. We'll put it on the right sides of this. So the right side of that, on the right side of this line, we'll make it a little bit darker. Make sure it meets up and blends with our nostril. Remember, it's dark right under the nose, because the nose itself is casting a little shadow down there. And we make sure some of those shading values blend in together. And there it is. Like I said, not my greatest, not the worst in the world. As you can see, I woke up and had to practice a whole bunch of them today, trying some different lines, things like that. One of the papers that I will be including in the Google Classroom with these is mapping the face out. So we know that we've sort of have worked on the eyes earlier. We know our spacing with the eyes. When we put sort of the eyes in, you draw a line straight down. We can see where the edge of the nostril should be. So bring that in just a little bit. From the center of the pupil is going to be sort of your guide for the next step of where the mouth is. But this is basically how you start to map out and draw a portrait. You know, whether you're just sort of making it up, you're looking at something, but whatever it is. And then, like you said, we sort of go about drawing the other parts just like we had practiced, whether it's getting sort of pupil, iris, things like that in. And you start building from there. You know, and obviously we start bringing our eyes in, draw that out a little better. Your next lesson is going to be where we put the mouth. But again, these noses can be tricky, so just give it your best shot. Obviously, if you need any help, let me know. We can always do something over a Zoom meeting if you sort of want to, you know, sort of share what you're drawing in real time, which is totally fine with me. Let me know. We can set that up. But mostly have fun. Enjoy this. Try. If it doesn't come out looking okay, that's all right. I'll be mostly impressed and proud of you if you just give it your best effort. So I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you're enjoying the nice weather. We miss you, and we're 2 weeks away from summer. So good luck, everyone, and happy drawing.